Fox Carolina, the morning news starts right now.
Already seeing some pink on the map as rain turns to freezing rain and sleet across western North Carolina. I'll give you an hour-by-hour look at what to expect and who else could start to see this throughout the day.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, December 16th. Thanks so much for joining us here on Fox Carolina. I'm Margaret Ann Carter.
And I'm Ted Payton, of course, here along with meteorologist Nicole Pape. Good morning to you. It's another cold start today, but Nicole, got to get right to those icy conditions, mainly in the mountain towns, as we're starting to see that pink on the radar map behind you.
You know, we are. It's been a couple hours, too, where we've been seeing this. So places like bridges and overpasses are very likely already getting slick in parts of our mountains, watching those around Asheville, down toward Hendersonville. The Tryon area is still kind of in that rain and icy mix. We're also watching Marion for some significant iciness at this point, and those out toward Brevard seeing some, too.
Fox Carolina, the morning news starts right now.
Watching freezing rain come down in parts of the mountains. It should stay fairly spotty over the next few hours, but ice concerns do linger on roadways. We'll tell you about where to expect it most.
And we are watching the roads closely for those possible icy patches out there. We're live all over the mountains and the upstate this morning with the very latest.
Well, good morning to you and happy Wednesday, December 16th. I'm Ted Payton.
I'm Margaret Ann Carter, along with meteorologist Nicole Pape, traffic reporter Chris Scott here in the building. And that's who we need to be checking in with all morning long.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not only going to be just wet, but also some areas may get some icy patches, as Nicole has mentioned. So it's already going to be a dangerous day, even with the wet roads, much less any ice. So we're going to try to keep up with the North Carolina DOT across the area. The maintenance folks at DOT did spray a lot of the roads yesterday, so that certainly will help some of the main areas, but it's just going to be so patchy, I think, right, Nicole? It's going to be kind of hard to tell.
It is going to be hard to tell, and the problem is, too, that with this kind of system, it's coming down looking like rain, but as soon as those temperatures get to freezing here at the surface, that glaze of ice could pop up, so what looks like a wet roadway could actually be an icy roadway.
Fox Carolina, the morning news starts right now.
Looking at icy mix in western North Carolina, not for everyone, but it's enough to create concern on roadways. I'll give you an hour-by-hour look at what to expect as the day goes by.
And we are watching the roads closely this morning for those possible icy conditions out there. We are live all over the mountains in the upstate this morning with the very latest coming up.
Good morning to you and happy Wednesday, December 16th. I'm Ted Payton.
I'm Margaret Ann Carter, along with meteorologist Nicole Pape, traffic reporter Chris Scott. That is where our focus is on this morning, traffic and weather, as we are watching those temps drop and the possibility for that risk out on the roads increase.
Yeah, and heavy rain and ponding is the problem here in the upstate. I've been checking with North Carolina DOT about road conditions up there. They're not reporting any, major icy areas yet. So really just the rain and normal conditions like that make it bad enough for us here in the upstate.
Yeah, it really does. And what we're going to see now is that temperatures are making it to freezing in the mountains. So areas that saw a lot of rain overnight and really just soaked the roadways could now be starting to see some of the areas that are still wet turn icy. And that's going to be a concern for the rest of the morning, with even more rain and freezing drizzle coming down there.
Fox Carolina, the morning news starts right now.
We're watching for freezing rain concerns this morning as we are live in the mountains and upstate for team coverage straight ahead.
Plus, Greenville County takes a final vote to consolidate the sewer system, and they're in favor. How groups opposing the plan are responding. Straight ahead. Well, good morning to you and happy Wednesday, December 16th.
Yeah, thanks for joining us here on Fox Carolina. We are less than 10 days from Christmas.
Ooh.
Unbelievable.
Yep, unbelievable. And the big story is that several schools will have to work virtually or on a delay because of course, of the weather. Those are going to run at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, we do have team coverage for you this morning with live reports on the field from northern Greenville County as well as into western North Carolina. Chris, having a busy morning on the roadways, but But Kylie, watching as we're expecting to see more of that wintry mix maybe start making its way into parts of the upstate.
Yeah, already seeing freezing rain happening across portions of the upstate. I want you to take you right to the radar so you can see what's going on. So freezing rain happening from Hendersonville back towards Marion, even into Grassy Creek. So for Mitchell, Yancey County, getting in on this freezing rain. And this is the type of rain that falls and it just freezes on contact. So it's going to hit the tree limbs, your car, and you are going to be noticing that. So if you're going to be traveling this way, really make sure to be careful.
Fox Carolina The Morning News starts right now.
A wintry mix happening across North Carolina now until about 10 a.m. The rain is going to push through for the entire day. Details coming up in your full forecast.
Plus, Greenville County takes a final vote to consolidate the sewer system, and they're in favor. How groups opposing the plan are responding. Straight ahead. Well, good morning to you and happy Wednesday, December 16th.
Yeah, thanks for joining us here on Fox Carolina. The weather is the big story this morning. We haven't seen too many issues, but there have been some schools taking precautions, some working virtually or on a delay. Those are all running at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, now we also do have team coverage with live reports in the field from northern Greenville County as well as in western North Carolina. Chris is watching the roadways this morning. We'll get to some of the latest headlines with Margaret Ann. But Kylie, starting to watch that wintry mix. Has any of that made its way into the upstate yet?
A few areas. Northern portions of Greenville County have received a little bit of freezing rain, but not as much as what portions of western North Carolina are dealing with. So that's what I do want to focus in on right now.
Fox Carolina The 4 o'clock news starts right now.
Amber alert for 2 babies in Greenville County is over. Their own father is locked up. What we know about the abduction and rescue. Plus, we saw the second highest number of new COVID-19 cases recorded in South Carolina. This comes as DHEC updates us on the vaccines. But we begin the 4 o'clock news with Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent because, well, we're just 2 days away from Christmas and a lot's changing in that forecast.
Oh, and it's exactly what the kids want to see in the mountains. We have a winter weather advisory and even a winter storm warning for the northern mountains of North Carolina, including Yancey, Mitchell counties, also Madison County. Notice the upstate, northeast Georgia, not included in any of this. However, cannot completely rule out seeing a flurry north of I-85.
We'll check in with Chris Scott in just a moment for an update on your commute. For a lot of folks, the last day to work before Christmas.
Fox Carolina The 5 o'clock news starts right now.
Alert for 2 babies in Greenville County is over. Their own father locked up. What we know about the abduction and rescue. Plus, we saw the second highest number of new COVID-19 cases recorded in South Carolina. This comes as the CDC urging folks to stay home and not travel, but it appears travel, at least in the skies, ticking up. Good afternoon. Welcome in on the 5 o'clock news. We'll begin with Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent over in the Weather Center, and we see rain out to the west, Kendra, and that is moving our way.
Yeah, it's going to be a big part of our Christmas Eve as the heavy rain will push in toward late morning and stick around into the early afternoon hours. So at least the daytime looking pretty wet, and then eventually snow takes over. I'll show you that in a second. Let's get a look at where that rain is coming from. It's mainly off toward the west and southwest. Clouds have increased across the area, and we'll continue to see our rain chances go up late tonight into the day tomorrow.
Download the Fox Carolina streaming news app. Live, local, free. Fox Carolina The Morning News starts right now.
Widespread rain takes over the southeast once again, but it may be a tale of 2 stories today with some brighter skies by the afternoon. We'll talk more about what you can expect.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks so much for being here with us on this Monday morning. It's March 1st, starting a new week, starting a new month, a new morning.
Oh, yeah. New me.
New me, I'm Margaret Ann
Does it feel
Carter.
fresh, right?
Yeah. Well, we're here with meteorologist Nicole Pape, and I'll tell you what, a new forecast, too, because yesterday, absolutely gorgeous. Unfortunately,
So
we're not
nice.
looking at the same conditions early this morning.
Yeah, low to mid 70s for everyone yesterday, including the mountains. It was gorgeous. We actually had almost a little of a warmth that was reminiscent of what we will see in a few weeks with full-on springtime. But for now, the changes are in and we have widespread rain developing. Now the mountains are getting soaked already. The upstate not so much just yet, but it's on the way, and we are looking at some downpours through the morning commute today, though this should actually wrap up in time for some afternoon dry time. You can see the heavy rain now into the areas of Bryson City, aiming for Waynesville over the next 30 minutes. Asheville probably about 45 minutes until you start to see the heavier rain.
Fox Carolina The Morning News starts right now.
Easing up, some restrictions issued by Governor McMaster in South Carolina are being lifted today. What that means for alcohol sales and large gatherings coming up.
And the third COVID vaccine being shipped out as we speak. How soon the Johnson & Johnson vaccine could be distributed after approval over the weekend.
Plus, we're looking at widespread rain in the mountains, and it's moving toward the upstate over the next few hours. I'll detail what you can expect through the early commute.
Good morning and happy Monday, March 1st. I'm Ted Phaeton.
I'm Margaret Ann Carter. Yeah, starting a day, a new month here with Chris Scott, meteorologist Nicole Pape here as well. Unfortunately, though, we're not starting it as beautiful as we saw yesterday.
It was a gorgeous Sunday. Who got outside?
I had to.
Yeah, right?
The plan was to go outside really quick, but I ended up staying outside for hours because it was just so gorgeous.
It's just how it happens. And yeah, it was the last day of February, and it came in at 72 degrees in Asheville and 74 in Greenville.
Oh, we'll take it.
Exactly. Especially with this. We've got a different setup this morning. Widespread rain has already taken over our mountains. It's been actually quite heavy. The upstate, though, as we look over Pelham Road, is actually still dry. The rain is going to stick around this morning. It'll be a dry day Tuesday, and then we're back to rain again Wednesday morning. So we've got kind of an up and down pattern here through about midweek. Right now, though, the rain is heaviest in western North Carolina. The upstate will get in on that rain before 7 a.m.
Fox Carolina The Morning News starts right now.
Breaking news, while you were sleeping, the House just passed a sweeping measure to overhaul voting rights, but the massive bill could face hurdles in the Senate to what this could mean if passed. Coming up.
Plus, 3 suspects are in jail this morning, charged in double homicide from nearly 2 years ago. We are live with the latest in the case and what the victim's family has to say. Well, good morning to you. It's Thursday, March 4th. I'm Ted Phaeton.
I'm Margaret Ann Carter, along with meteorologist Nicole Pape, traffic reporter Chris Scott here this morning as we are trying to speed things along, clearly.
Pushing into spring, I feel it.
It's believable on how fast this year is going, whether it's the 4th or the 14th. I apologize for that. Let's reel it back to today.
Yeah, we want to make every day count.
Yeah.
Not waste the next 10.
Especially with the sunshine.
Yes, and it's very possible the next 10 days could bring sunshine. We are really entering this very quiet pattern in our forecast, and it means good conditions for almost everything outside. Mild air takes over today. Today's the warmest day out of the next several. Saturday cools back off again, and a couple clouds will pass by. There's maybe a sprinkle, but I really don't think much rain is going to come.
Fox Carolina The Morning News starts right now.
A new vaccination clinic opens this morning in the upstate. Governor McMaster will be there, and we have a live report on the event coming up straight ahead.
Plus, a third vaccine is on the way to allowing for more inoculations to start this week. The latest on Johnson & Johnson's vaccine is straight ahead.
And widespread rain will impact each and every one of us for this morning. We'll dry out by the afternoon. Your hour-by-hour forecast straight ahead.
Good morning to you and happy Monday. It's March 1st.
Yeah, starting a new month and a new week here. Thanks for joining us here for Fox Carolina's The Morning News. We've got the whole crew here, Kylie, Chris, Margaret Ann, Ted, and myself all covering what you need to know to start the day.
Yeah, a lot to get to, I'm sure, but first got to talk about the weather and traffic. I know that wet weather pushing in. Chris, have you seen any accidents out on the roadways?
Yes, I do have a number of them out there right now. Some of them in the rainy areas, some of them not, but yeah, I do have a few to let you know about.
Yeah, definitely drive safe for this morning as the rain is coming down in buckets, especially across western North Carolina. The upstate, though, also seeing a good amount of moisture rolling on in. This is a live look over Clemson. As you can see the screen there, it is just so soggy, and visibility is going to also be reduced from all of this rain. So just go nice and slow.
Fox Carolina The Morning News starts right now.
Breaking news right now as the coroner is called to a hotel in Duncan. We are live on the scene. Plus, a third vaccine is on the way, allowing for inoculations to start this week. The latest on Johnson & Johnson's vaccine straight ahead.
And grab the umbrella before you head out the door. It's a rainy start to the new work week. Details coming up.
Well, good morning to you and happy Monday, March 1st.
Yeah, thanks for joining us all here on Fox Carolina. Ted and I watching your morning headlines. Margaret Ann on your breaking news. Chris watching traffic, and Kylie with this nasty weather.
Yeah, it is just feeling like a Monday out there. But the good news is it's the start of meteorological spring. So we are almost there. And the astronomical spring is going to happen in about 20 days. So you know what? If you're ready for these warmer temperatures and maybe some less rain, well, we have good news for you because we are starting to approach those months. But of course, we are starting out very soggy this morning.
Fox Carolina, the morning news at 10 starts right now.
We're following breaking news from overnight out of Clemson. This is off of College Avenue, where a police-involved shooting is being investigated. The coroner was called on scene. We're breaking down the details of what we've learned from overnight coming up. Plus, officials trying to find what is responsible for the delay in the vaccine rollout that's causing a lot of frustrations across the South Carolina state. We'll be breaking down what lawmakers are doing to try and speed up the process coming up. Well, good morning. I'm Ted Payton here with Margaret Burnquist. Hopefully having a good start to your Thursday so far. Thanks for joining us here on the Morning News at 10. Margaret, good morning.
Hey, good morning and happy Friday Eve, Ted. Coming up on the Money Watch, gun sales are up. We're going to talk about the numbers last month compared to January of 2020. Also, if you don't like the brand new menu item at one fast food restaurant, there's an insurance policy. If you want to try it today and you don't like it, they'll take care of you. I like that. We'll have those stories coming up in the Money Watch.
Well, you certainly have my attention. Margaret will be standing by for that, and we'll be checking back with you in just a few moments. Thanks so much. We do want to get a look at the forecast, though, because it's a little foggy, or I don't want to say a little, very foggy out there, Kylie. And, of course, rain is on the way as well.
Right, so we're going to eventually lose the fog, and then the rain's going to build on in. So today, really, we cannot win with our weather forecast. Right now, as you can see, visibility is low all across the area.
Fox Carolina, the 4 o'clock news starts right now.
A new vaccine being shipped in the U.S. now. How soon we can see those shots arrive in South Carolina.
Plus, 3 men now behind bars after an upstate teen was murdered. We'll have the latest on this case.
And it was a rainy start to the day, now just gray and cloudy, but we have things that will be changing soon. We'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent just know about how cool things will be looking soon. Good afternoon, I'm Cody Alcorn.
And I'm Victoria Carmen. Thanks for joining us on the 4 o'clock news. And let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent. You can see some of that moisture and rain behind you on the radar, and we heard those storms blow through this morning too.
That's right. It was much heavier this morning, but we do have a few lingering light showers, some sprinkles really across the area now. Colder air is going to build in late tonight, and we're going to get in on that, especially by Tuesday morning. We'll notice a big difference compared to this morning. At least it won't be raining, though.
Fox Carolina, the 5 o'clock news starts right now.
A third vaccine rolling out to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. When we could see the first shots here in South Carolina.
Plus, some rain moving across our area today, but will it last through the week? We have your forecast and more straight ahead at 5. Good afternoon, I'm Victoria Carmen.
And I'm Cody Alcorn. We want to get right over to Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent. You might have been woken up this morning by the rain.
Oh, yeah.
Kendra, still some green on radar, but it looks like it's going to be moving out of here soon.
Yeah, it's a lot less heavy than it was for the frustrated folks this morning on the roads. It was at a terrible time for the morning commute, getting the kids to school. Now it is the evening commute. We do have some light showers out there, but nothing that's being too much more than just a quick nuisance for most folks.
Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news starts right now.
The community rallying around an upstate family after a devastating fire claims the life of a 19-month-old girl. How you can help.
And South Carolina is expected to get over 40,000 doses of a new COVID vaccine this week, and it only requires one shot. We're talking to doctors about the effectiveness of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
And less than a week after a nearly identical tragedy, another upstate firefighter killed on his way to work. His friends are sharing more about his legacy tonight.
First on Fox, breaking news out of Greenville County near downtown. That is where the coroner's office and troopers are investigating a deadly crash.
Fox Carolina, the 11 o'clock news starts right now.
A community rallying behind their own during tragedy. The KFC in Spartanburg hosted a fundraiser today for 19-month-old Brooklyn Foster. She's the baby girl officials say was killed in a house fire from last week. And we stopped by that KFC earlier today to talk to the team about what they're doing.
And that's where we find Fox Carolina's Jarvis Robertson tonight with how they are working to help this family. So what's the connection here, Jarvis, between the KFC and this family?